Hello, everyone. My name is Reginald Johnson, host of All in the Game, and we are in Pageland, South Carolina. For everyone who doesn't know what Pageland, South Carolina is, it's 601 right outside of North Carolina. You could throw a rock in North Carolina, Chesterfield County. I have Justice Cunningham and Jeff Blakeney with me. And so, in all of the game fashion, I will let them introduce each other. So, Jeff, you go first.
I introducing big 6'3" man, big just, D tackle, point guard, center, small forward, all of the above, Justice Cunningham.
Thank you. I'm introducing 6'2", the original region player of the year, first one from Pageland. Jeff Blakeney, great coach, great man.
That's great, man. That's what I'm talking about. Well, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on All of the Game, and we're going to have a good time. First quarter, what we'll do is we'll start off talking about growing up in Pageland. So let's get started with the first quarter. So, Justice, tell me how was it growing up in Pageland?
Uh, Pretty slow. I mean, dirt roads, not many stores to eat at, so trying to just find something to do. Try to find ways to stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Go ahead, Jeff.
How was it growing up in Pageland for you?
Like you said, small town, man. Everybody know everybody. Everybody know everybody business, or they think they do. Just a small network, like not a lot going on. So you either in the sports or you probably in the streets.
Yeah. So both of you were into sports. So how did y'all get into sports? Justice, for you, what got you to playing sports, football and basketball?
I mean, that was the only way I could have something to do. I mean, I had a lot of cousins that lived around me, but when baseball season came around, all of them played baseball, so I was at home by myself. So if I wanted to go hang with my cousins or my friends, I had to go out there and play sports. So that's what really just got me out there, let alone just I did like playing sports when I did do it with them.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? What got you into playing sports?
Well, the way we grew up around here, you grew up either football and basketball. It's like it's like one of those givens. We was always known for for football, but in your neighborhood, you either playing football in the road,
Mm-hmm.
tackle on the side of the street, or you playing basketball in somebody's backyard,
Mm-hmm.
or the goal is on the side of the neighborhood road. So it's just one of those things, that's what we did. We did that, and you rode bikes, and when you got in school, you knew you were going to play football.
So that's what
You
it
didn't
was.
want to be the worst one.
It was the given in Pageland you were going to play football.
That pretty much.
Basically.
If you come from any type of athletic family, that was just one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait to play either.
So did both of y'all play up? You got neighborhood football. We call it tackle the man with a football. Some people call it throw it up, bust them up. Same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a tough game. But it taught you how to play with other people and not go in the house and crying. How long did y'all do that? Did y'all play organized ball too, like Little League?
I mean, I started organized ball around 5th grade, but even then and before then, it was always a thing where all the kids played pick them up, mess them up on the side of the football field while the high school games are going on.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times we were out there like we want to showcase what we could do on the side. So you felt like you were performing out there because you felt people were looking at you all the time.
Right.
But right around once I got to the point where I could just run back and forth through everybody, I knew I was getting too big for it. So I just stuck with the main sport, stick with the school sports.
Oh yeah. Also, y'all did that too, y'all, because we used to get a ball like I don't know if high schools still do it, but the cheerleaders used to throw a little ball out, a little plastic ball. We get that ball, go to the end of the field by the goalpost, and after that, who gonna catch me? You go home all dirty, your jeans probably.
Yep.
Today, so yeah, it's good to see y'all had them same kind of experiences. What about you, Jeff? When did you start playing?
Organized about 7th grade, but in Petersburg, Mudsville, where we grew up, we played football all the time. And in the backyards, like you said, you had to be, that was one of the ways they would see if you were tough.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to play with the older guys, and even football is like they even had I don't know if Justice remember this, but they even had like where at the Petersburg school play baseball field, old baseball field.
Mm.
Different neighborhoods will meet up out there and play like a game, a full-fledged game, but you didn't have no pads on.
Oh yeah.
But it was on tackle. So you either got tough or you got hurt or you just got knocked out the way.
Yeah.
About the 7th when we were able to start.
So about 7th grade. So growing up, who'd y'all look up to?
Yep.
Like, did you look up to anyone?
As far as players,
Yeah, or in your neighborhood.
like players we were from, or like in the NFL.
Yeah, players.
I mean, growing up, it was always the Central High greats. You had this Dot Chambers, even my cousin Al Speed. I mean, Mario Newman. Am I saying his name right?
Dario
Newman. That's it.
Yeah.
Dario Newman. They were always greats growing up. You looked up to them and wanted to be like them. So it was beefy. It's plenty of them for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You had somebody to follow. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, but about the same, man. In football, it's like your family played, so it was just like you just waiting your turn. And I think even with Justice, like it was like that when they came through. It's like in middle school, you couldn't wait the one day to put on that Eagle uniform. Football was real serious around here, and I mean, you had to showcase your talent just to get on the field. And we had so many players. It's just like it wasn't automatic when you come up to high school, you was gonna get a starting job. So you go to the games and watch your older cousins, or older friends and family or whatnot, and just wait for your turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even with basketball, I mean, they fill the courts down here. You know how it is, Reggie. Probably like that where you come from. Like you had to show your talent just to get on the court.
Yeah.
And if you lose one game, you might not get a chance to get back up again.
Yeah,
That's how packed the courts were.
Yeah, you'll get back up next Sunday. You won't. Yeah, So yeah, the same thing. I always tell people, if you can make it out of your neighborhood, then you play high school in itself. Because your neighborhood is pretty much some of the toughest dudes, because you're playing with grown men in your neighborhood. And you're playing with older ones. So to make it out of your neighborhood and ball and excel, and once you get to high school, it's not even a problem. But
that's right.
Being able to have somebody to look up to, and growing up in Hampton, 2A town, just like Pageland, we always had people around they'll beat us now real bad, but they'll kind of show us the game. And
right.
If you use your left a little bit, then I won't take the ball from you. So
yep.
There you go. They won't just beat you. They'll beat you with a purpose. Like, okay, now I know I can use my left hand. Or now I know when I go to the sideline playing football, I'll hold the ball close to the sideline so nobody will strip the ball from me. So different things like that taught us before the coaches ever taught us. All the coaches really had to do is say, hey, this is your position. This is the route you run, and go play. Was it kind of like that for y'all guys too?
Go ahead, Jeff. Good.
Yeah, pretty much. By the time they got you in high school, man, even with my class, they taught you a little bit, but they just, let you go, teach you a little bit more of the fundamentals, but you learn a lot of that stuff in the backyard. Like you said, playing against the older guys, and we did the same thing. You playing them, but you talking to them and teaching them at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I got you right now. Look at your feet, or you can't do nothing because you can't go this way. You talking junk to them and teaching them at the same time while you playing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, my cousin used to beat me till I cried. Like it was no holding back. Like they're gonna beat me till I beat them, but they would coach me through it. But hey, you got to stop me from going this way, or you got to show me you can go left for I can respect you can do that. Like, it was plenty of tears and blood and tough nights growing up. So yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing with that, Reg, too, like when we grew up, you didn't let nobody beat you. I don't care how sorry they were. If you were better than them, you beat them. You know how some people will let you win.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm not letting you win. If you can win, you can win. But if you can't, I'm not gonna let you win.
No.
You got to take this beat down like a man.
I
learned my lesson from that one time.
Oh, that happened to you?
Well, I learned not to take it easy on people.
There you go.
Because I ain't gonna say names, but I was in Mudsville, and somebody asked me to play one-on-one with them, and I knew I could easily beat them. But while we were playing, I was up like, we were going to 7. I was up like 5-1, 6-1. And that part of the game, I really just wasn't taking it seriously anymore. We're just having fun. And he came back, and I was like, he really bragged about that for the next couple of years. I had to really play him again and put that to sleep real fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you got to kill a gnat with a hammer. You just can't let
people... I thought it was obvious that the game was like kind of over and we were just playing around at this point. But like we did, he still was keeping score. And he won. He was just like he held that for years.
Yeah. You never let you live it down. So, favorite. You played baseball, Justice?
Yes, that was the first sport I really actually played rec in.
What position were you playing?
A little bit of everything. My favorite position was catcher, but I had first base, wherever they really could put me.
Yeah. And Jeff, I know you played baseball too, right?
Yeah, I played about, I think, 10th grade.
Oh yeah.
We stopped playing then. We were too much into basketball, man. Baseball was too slow for us.
Oh yeah.
We regret it now that we stopped playing, but we were so into basketball. It's like, we rather it's either play some more basketball or go stand out on the baseball field. So we chose basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah, same with me. I played baseball up until 9th grade. I was in right field, and sometimes I was in center field. But the game I remember the most, my last baseball game, I was just in the dirt looking around in the outfield, and I heard the crack of the bat, and I was like, please, God, don't let that ball come here. I was in the sky, and it dropped right by my foot. And I was like, 3 runs scored. And the coach, after I threw it in, he just looked at me and bring it in. I was like, I'm good, man. Because it was slow. I mean, our pitcher, he was doing his thing. He almost had a no-hitter, so I gave that up for him, but that's on me.
You blew it.
Yeah, I blew the no-hitter, man.
Yeah, I gave it up my freshman year. I gave it up my freshman year too.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to do track and baseball at the same time, and I wanted to put more time in the track because I could see that's where I had more potential in not long term, but win a championship.
So does Pageland breed 3-sport athletes? Because both of y'all played 3 sports. So is it one sport, just football or basketball or baseball? What is it? Jeff, I'll let you answer that question.
No, they actually bleed 3-sport, man. I mean, we got guys out here that can run, jump, play baseball. Some of them are fade out on the baseball as they get older. But we got guys that can pretty much play any sport.
And it should be 4 because we never have people go out for a track team that should be out there running track. And our fastest players don't be out there, but we'll still be top 2 in the region or top number 1 in the region as far as winning the region.
And Reggie, we don't have a track now. We won a state championship with track, but we don't have a track. We got dirt.
Oh yeah. So y'all just practice on the other side, outside of the school?
They just practice
the football field fence.
Come on, Paisley, get them a track or something. Track football program up. That's strength training, 1-on-1.
Hey man, you don't have a track. Yeah, people trip on us about that. But they fast though. We got some fast guys around here.
Definitely.
So do y'all use the cross-train football players? Because that's what I'll be doing with all that talent y'all say y'all got down there.
I know in my class we always had issues getting the football players onto the track, and understandably so looking back on it now, because I mean we didn't have a track. I mean it didn't seem like the school was really putting that much in the track, so I can see why it wasn't attract players. Whereas you can see footballs, the sports you see the school show support, and players kind of went and did more.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? As
What
far
was
as
that?
making them, encouraging them to run track, because track outweighs a lot of things, man.
Well, I encourage a lot of them guys now to run track because they don't know how much that can help them for football. And even like with Central now, man, I expect our track team the next 3 or 4 years to really compete for some more state championships. Because we got a lot of speed up there now, and we got a lot more coming.
Yeah.
So track should be really good.
Yeah. Get out there and run track. It's going to help you out in the long run, because college coaches are going to get to see you doing multiple sports.
There you go.
2 sports is better, but 3 sports is great. You'll always see you working on your game. You don't have to. What do you think about, Jeff, when kids want to specialize and just play one sport?
I mean, I really don't agree with it. Even like my kids, I just, enjoy the ride, man. Play different stuff. You get a little older, you might can slim it down to 1 or 2 if you feel like you might have a chance to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But just playing one sport all year, or I don't, because that might not even be the sport that you think you're gonna make it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Justice would probably remember Sam Montgomery. Didn't he play basketball all the way up to like his junior year?
No, he played all the way through senior year like me. We played on the same AAU team together. So
I'm saying he didn't play football until like later in life.
He started football, I think, his sophomore, junior year, something like that.
That's what I'm saying. So, and he was a really good basketball player too, Reggie, but he ended up going to LSU for football.
Yeah, it's you got to use all the talents that you got. You can't leave anything on the table, and that's what the student athletes and kids need to learn. They need to learn, like, okay, you may not think you're good in track or don't want to do it, but I did track, football, and basketball in high school, and ended up running track and playing football in college. And track in college, track in high school is tough, but track in college is a whole nother level. But when I got back to spring ball, it was like, man, the DBs was walking because I was just blowing by the guys. And it helps you. Plus, I got more money when I ran track too, so you get money doing it. So that's the benefit of it.
And our track program is building, man. They've been having a good bit come out, and they got a really good coach with Coach Billy Blakeney. I mean, he really get a lot out of his athletes at whatever they play,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with just getting another trophy if you're good enough to do.
That's right. It's nothing wrong with getting an all-state, all-region trophy. Because
I would have left high school without an all-state anything if I didn't do track.
Oh yeah, man, we got to talk about that. Yeah. At Wade Hampton, our track team, we had 100 people on the team. Had to take 3 buses, 2 activity buses, and a small little bus. But the good thing about that is we would win every meet. The bad thing about that was, man, we get home at 12 o'clock at night because we had so many races. But our football coach, his wife was a track coach. So he encouraged everybody to run track. So that's what we did. But it paid off. We won. We had 2 girls on our team, Shekinah Austin and Keisha Doctor. I think they scored 80 points in the state championship by themselves. 2 girls. So they came in second place. But that's just how good they were.
I think Central was like that a few years before I did track. They came in second or third with only like 2 or 3 people that went down the state.
Down to Columbia. Well, great, man. This has been a great first quarter. Next, we're going to talk about basketball. Let me end this quarter. And Facebook, we're going to be answering questions at the end for a Q&A press conference. So hold your questions to the end or put them in the chat and we'll get to them. Let me let the cheerleaders go real quick. Pageland cheerleaders. Thank you, cheerleaders. All right, well, let's talk about basketball. Jeff, I did some research. Pageland went to the state championship. You played Macedonia. Before you played Macedonia and got there, tell me, how did a football school, because you said it out of your own mouth that Pageland is football. You didn't say when y'all was growing up y'all want to play basketball. You said football. How did y'all get to the state championship in basketball of all things?
Well, first we had a coach that believed that we could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he really pushed us to, you know, bring out our talents in basketball. We love to play the game all the time with the older guys and at the parks. And, you know, we played all the time. But once he put in our head that we could be, you know, pretty good team, I mean, we just started playing even more, man. And, you know, we started winning more and just kept at it, man. And the gym started getting packed more with basketball, you know, and it's like people start talking around town like, man, these guys are really good. And we just stayed at it, man, and fight each game until, you know, get another game, you know?
Yeah, so with that, because y'all played Chesterfield, right? That was one of y'all rivals?
Yes. Yep.
Did y'all play against J.J. Brown? I know he played football, but did y'all?
He was a couple years older than me.
Okay.
I can't remember if he was gone by the time we played him, but I remember J.J. Brown.
Oh yeah, he was a monster, man. We played him at camp in Charleston Southern. And, well, the other team before me, the guys came home. They was like, man, it's this dude from Chesterfield named J.J. Brown. He was just slamming everybody around. And I think he was in Michigan first, and then I think he ended up at South Carolina.
Yeah, he moved around, but Central dogged him. Some of them guys that played against him might get in the chat, but they were talking about how big and all that stuff he was. But man, we went down there and tore their tails up.
Oh yeah. So Chesterfield, was that your biggest rival?
When I played, it was Chesterfield, Terrell, AJ, Andrew Jackson.
Okay.
You know, Terrell was pretty good. Andrew Jackson was pretty good. You know, everybody was okay, but I mean, I would say Chesterfield, Terrell.
Yeah. And so Justin, because when you played, y'all had a great region record, right? I think y'all beat Jeff's record.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought they were state champions, so I didn't even count. Never thought of their record because they went to state. So I never thought we had more wins than them. But I guess so.
Yeah.
When you go to state, I ain't even count their record after that. That's all the respect in the world from me, especially being from Central and playing basketball.
Yeah, that is right. Going to state.
Yeah, they bust us, Reg.
So Jeff,
they bust our record. I was coaching then.
Oh, well, you take part in that, so you got to give some credit to yourself too. Were you showing them things that you learned?
Yeah, I was helping. Oh yeah, I mean, just probably remember, man. I used to open the gym all the time on Sundays and stuff. We go in there and work, man, and get a lot of shots up and just work on different stuff, man. We had a really good team. We didn't have many shooters, but we had two big guys down low, man, that nobody couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And plus, we were really, them guys were really quick too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So that's good. Y'all had, and you were able to leverage some of your skills from being successful, get to the state championship to kind of help them get to where they are. Everybody wins, man, when you got a successful program. It doesn't stop with that team that reached the top. It should always flow back down and be continuous like a circle. And for you to go and help and give back to kind of empower that team to help them win, that speaks volumes. Because a lot of times, you know, we don't go back and do that. We don't give back enough like we should, and we got the talent to do it. But we'll coach from the sideline. We'll tell you what you're not doing right on that fence. We'll be eating our popcorn saying that coach should have called a timeout. But
every game,
we won't get out there and help the coach. So great job, Jeff. That's big, man. Like I said, a lot of people don't do it. And if you are coaching from the sideline and you know what's going on, go help the coach out. You can volunteer.
So true.
So that's great, Jeff. So that championship run, man, how close was the team? Because you got to have you got to be very close to make a championship run because you with these people all the time, man. How close were you guys?
Well, the thing is, like I said, I mean, we all grew up like brothers, man. I mean, we have been playing together for all the way through. We go to the parks, we go together. We'll take our whole team, you know, our first five, and we go play against people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started beating the older guys.
Oh yeah.
And once we started beating them, they couldn't beat us no more. You know what I mean? So, and you know, we just took that to the court, man. You know, we came in with a lot of confidence at the games, and we just felt like we could beat anybody. You know?
Yeah, and that's what I realized about championship teams and being successful. Same thing in Hampton. In Hampton, you got to be able. It's like Mario Brothers. You got to be able to. You got to get the levels. And once you get to that certain level where you knock the old heads down, because they pretty much the toughest ones. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna let you win. I don't care who you are.
I remember the exact game.
Really? How was that, Justice?
It was just a practice. Jeff, was Scoopy and them came as usual and played against us. And that particular summer, I worked pretty hard that summer, and the team just gelled right. In that game, we finally gave them a good whooping, and that's right before my junior year. We didn't win the region. I kind of knew from there it was ready to go because there was no fear in our heart. Because the dudes we played against, a lot of us were intimidated of growing up just because they were just big physical dudes. Where
yeah,
I was really proud of my team.
When they turned the corner, when you saw that light bulb go off in their head, like we got something.
Yeah.
And then, hey, I guess as soon they felt like they had arrived.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But you know, them boys had a good. Them guys, they had a good team, man. We spent countless hours in the gym. Just probably remember trying to teach some guys how to shoot the ball. You know, teams used to just pack us in. We had a couple decent shooters, but you know, I remember teams packing it in on the boys and be like, "Do not go out there." You remember that, Justice?
Oh, so they'll just
stay inside the free throw line on us. They would stay inside the 3-point line on us.
So y'all didn't have any jump shooters?
We had a couple, but not just pure shooters. You know what I mean? But
we had one guy that was close, but we didn't have that one person that you knew if you left him open, he was gonna hit it every time. Like you knew it was confidence in. We had that one guy, but we had one that was close.
Yeah,
okay.
I say Quan was close his senior year. He got close.
But those guys are so quick, man. Reggie, them balls are so quick around the perimeter, man. They get steals all day.
Yeah.
Laying it in. You know what I mean? It was like a daggone track meet out there. You remember that?
It was just DBs and safeties.
Oh, man. That's what it's all about. So Jeff, one of the things as your team got close together, y'all did a Christmas tournament in Ohio, right? Was it a Christmas tournament in Ohio?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that trip.
Hey, man, my boy Garrett Blackwell daddy told us. Garrett told us, he said, his daddy drove truck. And he used to make that trip, and he said, do not get on that bus. He said that activity bus is not equipped for that. You know what I mean? But, you know, we were excited about going. Our coach was from up there, and we went. And, man, that was a scary trip. The bus broke down, and we were sliding down mountains. I tell you what, it made me never want to go back to Ohio. I mean, I enjoyed the game, but as far as that cold, we weren't built for that.
So y'all took an activity bus. Did the bus at least was it a school bus or the activity bus that was painted?
It was the blue and white activity bus.
Okay, y'all took a blue and white bus that only know how to get on dirt roads from South Carolina, some paved roads, upstate. Y'all in the sand hills, and y'all went up to Ohio.
Through mountains, sliding down the mountains, man. We, cold. I think the bus froze up. We couldn't get somebody was laying on the heat back there. They were warm, but everybody else on the bus was cold.
Oh yeah. See, y'all that had my teammate Jamil Davis S&D Charter Services, that would have never happened. To me, S&D charter, number 42 on the field, but number 1 for
Oh
charter.
yeah,
So
there you go.
Put it in the chat. Tell everybody about your charter company. And Paisley, if you got somewhere to be, he'll get you there in a hurry. S&D. It stands for safe and dependable. Next time, use him, please. So that trip, Jeff, when y'all got up there, was y'all balling?
Well, the first game we couldn't play because we got snowed in. I think it was too much snow. They couldn't get us to the university. So yeah, we would. You know, it was funny. We did play in another game. And it was funny. As some of my teammates in the chat there remember, you know, it was a lot of white people that never seen black people. So it was like we was famous up there. You know, we go to the restaurants, they was wanting our autographs and stuff, man. And you know, before the game over with, you know, because most of the guys on our team were black. But before the game over with, everybody in the stands was pretty much cheering for us.
Man, are you serious? So
it was crazy, man.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yep, it was crazy, man. But we had fun, man. We created a lot of memories from that trip.
That's good, man.
And it was a totally different experience, especially for a basketball team from Paisley and doing something like that.
Yeah.
So shout out to Dave Holdren, Coach Holdren, for taking us on that mission.
It's all about Coach. You paid off, didn't it? What about you, Justice? Y'all take any good trips like that? Any Christmas tournaments?
Nothing really too far. We did do some
last time. They weren't gonna do that again.
I don't know if our team was ready for all of that. Oh, we might have came back with players missing. I don't know.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right about that.
Yeah, we'd have some players missing. So we did do some tournaments like that, went through, which I did have a good time at. I like that a lot. Getting to play against different stuff. Like, I feel like Jeff and them did do a good job letting us get out there and play different teams a little bit. We got to play AJ Green one tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all played Somerville.
Yep. And didn't know we were playing. We knew he was on the team, but we didn't know who he was.
Oh,
we just know we was two tall dudes. And I was like, I'm gonna get the taller guy. Cause I think that's him. The next I know, AJ Green dunked on somebody. We was like, that's.
Yeah, he showed us real fast who he was.
Yeah.
He was jumping out the gym, man.
That team won the state championship.
Really?
Yeah, they won it.
They did.
It was
the next year. His team. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm. So y'all played some horses.
That was preseason stuff, so it wasn't nothing major. But I was happy for the opportunity to play certain teams like that. I knew was going to push us.
Mm-hmm. Nah, it's got to always be that way.
Oh yeah.
So Jeff, talk about that state playoff run, because that back then we used to have. I know y'all probably had it 2 conference tournaments. You go to somebody high school, you go like either on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and then you play all up until, and then the first 4 seeds get to playoffs. Y'all do the same thing at Central, or did they?
I can't remember. I can't remember exactly how it went. I think it was the top teams in the region or something like that. I can't really remember, but man, we always had a time with Bishopville. It's Lee Central now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man, and you know, they would rotate 5 in and 5 out, man, and you know, I don't know if you ever heard about their old little gym down there, man, by the stage. It's like the rim was bent. You go down there, man, and you leave, they throwing eggs at your bus and all kind of stuff, man. But we used to have dog fights with them, man.
You got to play against the whole town, ain't it?
Oh yeah, the gym be packed. You know, like you said, you hit the sideline and you run into people on the sideline. On the stage, they talking junk to you, but we used to have dog fights with them, man. But it was some good stuff.
Yeah.
And we made a good run against. We had to meet up with AJ. That was the 4 overtime game to get to the playoffs. Get through the playoffs.
I think I got some footage of that game, Jeff. Let me check. Hold on.
Hands in transitions.
Blakeney ran into the double team, fired and stole the layup.
And he got to the
side. Good by Blakeney.
Blakeney coming in on transition, drains a 3. Eagles kind of struggled this year.
Blakeney lines one up and knocks it down.
How about that recognition right there? Saw the
There's Blakeney drive, and then fourth quarter ball didn't play at all. Blakeney firing again.
He's on fire. He's getting that switch.
And the teeth of it, and the rebound, or the loose ball rather, comes ahead. Blakeney dunks one with the right hand.
Does anybody know how to post videos to Facebook?
I do. Yep. Hey man, I was able to.
You crazy, man.
I heard you tipped it in at the last. And all of that, they gave it.
That was somebody.
Don't ask me how I got it, but I got Blakeney. Everybody heard it. Tell me.
Oh boy, you crazy, Reggie.
Tell me about that game.
But yeah, man, you crazy, man. That was the 4 overtime game. And I think we had another game, but then we ran up against Bishopville again in the Upper State Championship, man. You know, they already beat us twice that year by 1 or 2 points, you know. And they actually won the conference that year.
Oh, Bishopville did?
But we ran against them again. Yeah, Bishopville did. We ran up against them again in the Upper State, man. And I mean, we was over in the neutral site at AJ.
Okay.
Gym packed out, man, but we refused to lose that game. Man, that's how we got to the state. Beat them right there at the end.
That's how y'all got to the state. Is that?
That's how we got to the state.
That the
we beat them with it. Hey, we beat them with it count.
That's right. Yeah. For everybody, Justice, do you know what their theme song was, man?
It was a theme song?
What? I mean, you probably don't. Tell Justice what the song that y'all use to get hype. And 93, man. What? I'm not even, you know what? He ashamed. He don't look.
Make it happen, baby.
I'm trying to
When
think.
this song came on, what was y'all doing, Jeff? How was it for the team?
We out there warming up, man. The crowd going wild. We like, what? Hey, people looked at us like we were crazy, but we went out there and tore their tails up, though. You know what I mean?
Wow, okay.
Make it happen. Mariah Carey.
I'm gonna tell you, Jeff, before we talk, I was trying to roll with Mariah Carey. I was like, make it happen. Let me listen to it. So I'm in the gym lifting weights, getting my swole on. So the first day I was like, okay, I like the beat because I heard it before. I said the lyrics are good. All right. Then the second day I played it again. And the third day I was singing it, and that alarm went off, and everybody was looking at me like, really, you singing that song? So I'm back in the gym for another week playing that song.
Hey.
2 points, man. So
That was our thing, man. Make it happen. We had it painted in the gym, I think, around the sea. Make it happen. Had the t-shirts and all.
Anybody got to make it happen shirt, post it on Facebook so we can see it.
Hey, make it happen, baby. Make it happen. Stand at gym packed, though. I tell you that.
It happened, man. Like I said, we didn't make the playoffs my junior year, so it must have worked. So that's great. So tell me about the state championship game going down to Carolina Coliseum because the Colonial Center wasn't built yet. How was it playing in the state championship game?
It was different, man. We went down real early, and that could have drained us a little bit. Mm-hmm. But we watched a bunch of games that day, and you know how they say experience. I think Macedonia had won the state right before that.
Oh yeah, Macedonia.
So we were, we were used to football, man. So it wasn't basketball. We didn't know how big of a stage it really was. You know what I'm saying? Until afterwards. But it was just different playing in that Coliseum, man, because it wasn't nothing like playing in the high school gym. Mm-hmm. And I think, with the backdrop and everything, it was like the rims looked like they were really small, and it just was different, man. And
they didn't have AAU then, right? I ain't trying to be foul.
No.
And I can see that really being a big deal if you never played AAU.
Right.
Because if now your first time playing the state championship, you had to play one of those arenas. Yeah, that's a different feeling. That's tough.
Man, it was way different, man. It was like, dang, we like it felt like you shooting the ball and like the rim was moving or something, man.
Oh, that's tough. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't have a wall or a stage back there, and it's not closed in, so you don't have any depth perception. So you think you shooting it, but then it's like that's an air ball. So
Mhm.
Yep.
and you don't have a lot
So
of
it
time
took us a while to get.
championship game to warm up.
Yep. I didn't have a really good game that game, but I had an average game. But by the time we got, we had game plan on Joe Hamilton. You remember Joe Hamilton? Went to Georgia Tech and played quarterback.
The option.
I
Yeah.
think he had dropped like 30 the game before. So we had a game plan on him. No, behold, the other shooting guard, the one dropped about 3 threes in a row on us, the jump the league up.
Mm.
And then, we kind of never recovered. I mean, we kept it a little bit close. First half, man, the first half was so, I remember it. I think the score was like, it was so bad for both teams. I think the score the first half was like 24-22 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Both teams averaging probably 60, 70 points a game, but we couldn't get it right, man. But
You do it. Yeah.
they whooped us. They whooped us.
So y'all
The
got
fact that you said that just now about the whole being in the bigger gym, that really just blew my mind a little bit because I couldn't imagine my first time being on that stage. That's tough.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So
That is a big stage, and that's the first time.
but that's how it went. That's how it went down, Reggie.
Oh, yeah, but y'all got honored, man. Because y'all what 25 years the school celebrated y'all.
Yeah, we went back and they gave us our old jerseys. They had a big write up in the paper, I think, fed us and stuff, and recognized us at halftime. Because I think we're the only team ever went to a state championship in basketball
Oh, that's
from
good.
Central.
So if you got any jerseys, still got your jerseys, take a picture, put them in the chat so we can check them out. But now that's good that your school honored y'all. And from what I can see, y'all was a band of brothers too. I know about Dunlap, Roderick Dunlap, Wheezy, but tell me about some of the other players that you played with.
Like I said, we lost a lot of players that year, but we had about a good 7-man rotation, man, that could roll with the best of them. We wasn't that tall. I think our tallest guy might have been 6'3", maybe, Thomas Allen. But they could jump, man. These cats, and Son Camillo, he was like maybe 5'10", but these cats could jump out the gym, man. These boys were throwing it down in the 9th and 10th grade like it wasn't nothing. Like, I'm talking about, and my brother Calvin Covington.
Yeah.
I'm talking about reverse dunks, 2 hands, coming off 2. We had back then we had dunk contests. I wasn't never in them, but hey, I was the hype man.
That would have been my job too.
But we had some guys that could really jump, man, and Weezy, Dunlap Reggie, man, he was just a defensive showstopper.
Yeah.
Me and him at the top up there, I just played off him, and we get the steal and we off to the races. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
But we had speed. We had some guys that could really jump, but we had guys that know how to play together. We all knew each other's game.
Yeah.
Mm.
And one of the things from when I coached, that I remember a game against Crescent. Weezy was point guard, but he got really hot that game, man. And I took the point, and we were just feeding him, man. I think he hit like 6 or 7 threes. He was on fire, Reggie. So it wasn't no big deal with who was doing all the scoring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as long as y'all, that's
Now I don't play. Now guys, they don't really like you. You could be the top scorer. They'll freeze your butt out, pass it the other way.
It's a secret because their parents say, "Don't pass the ball to that Johnson boy. He's scoring too much. You got to get a scholarship too." And
There you go.
Wow.
we trying to win, but if you win, everybody gonna shine.
Mm-hmm.
But one person you can be the man on a losing team, but you just the man on a losing team. But
There you go.
the winner that helps out. So that's with you and the team that you played on, because y'all were pretty good also. Even though y'all didn't make the state championship, y'all won the region, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about that team that was so successful?
To be honest, I think like Jeff said, we did have two big men that were very mean and aggressive and know how to play ball. But I just feel like as a team, we liked each other as well for the most part.
Yeah.
We all played. Everybody in our starting lineup played football, so we kind of had that there as well. So it was just that football mentality, trying to put on the basketball court and just give it all we got every night.
Went to a FCS school or a D2 school. School
Exactly.
is it's going to change your life if you do it the right way. It's going to put you in a better situation to help your family out and help your community out. But
and I feel like a lot of people were from. Well, I ain't really gonna say it, but if it's not D1, people don't really hype it up as much, or they don't feel like, or the kids don't feel like it gets hyped up as much.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, people really do be proud of anybody that goes to college from our hometown. I don't care if you went for sports or just academics. If you went to college, we really do. We're like, everybody respects that. They may not post a big long message Facebook post about it, but everybody will respect it if they see you going for something and trying to do something with your life.
No, that's right. And Paige and I met some great brothers. Jeff, you, Dunlap, Roderick Dunlap. Everybody know him as Wheezy. Tony Crawford, one of my great friends. Y'all know him as a big cat. But I slept on Tony's couch over the summer one time just because we didn't have anywhere to go. He's like, hey man, just crash on my couch. So Patient always has some good people, good brothers. So somebody doing something right down there. So keep up the good work. But the key is if you can go to college somewhere, even if it's not D1, it could be in the AIA. If they're paying for it, go.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to better your opportunity, and you'll be leaders just like these two gentlemen I'm talking to them right now. It's going to help you out. It shouldn't be D1 a bus. Because if I was D1 a bus, I'd be probably driving a bus right now. Nothing wrong with driving a bus, but nothing wrong with it. But I had more opportunity and more options when I went to college. So that's great, man. So halftime's over. Uh-oh, wait a minute. So before we start our third quarter, everyone heard the frogs. And my grandma always told me it takes a poor frog. If you know, it's a poor frog that don't praise its own pond. So I'll give y'all a minute to praise Pageland and why Pageland is a town that people in South Carolina and around should know about. So I'll let you go first, Jeff.
Well, I mean, it's a town, like you said, where, I mean, everybody stick together. You know, they try to. You know, we got a good tradition around here with sports. And, you know, if you're trying to do the right thing, there are people that are supporting you, you know. We just small town USA, man. I mean, we still get together, guys ride the four-wheelers, you know, they still racing the go-karts, still, you know, riding the horses. You know, we don't do a whole lot like major city, but that's the people that's here, that's just what they like, man. And that's what I like about it, man. It's small town USA, and me personally, I'll take that over the city anytime.
Hey, that's great, man. You gotta hype up your town, because when we went to college, you know, there were some people, they were from a town, but they'll claim the next town over or a bigger town. But that big town care nothing about you. The people who praying for you to be successful are in your hometown. The people who help you grow and succeed are in your hometown. So how you think they'll feel if you giving another town love and not them? So I always give Hampton County love, because Hampton County, you don't owe me anything. I owe y'all everything. Because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be who I was. So Hampton County, I appreciate everything you did and doing for me.
And one thing about Page, before you go, the way they got it set up now, man, you know, you could get to Charlotte or wherever, you know, 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you don't have to work here, you know, if you don't want to, you know, because there's not a lot of jobs here. Yeah. But you could get to some major places real quick if you needed to.
That's good, Jeff. We're going to sign you up for the Chamber of Commerce next. So next interview. That's a good commercial for Page. May not be a lot of jobs, but you can get to the highway easy to get a job in Charlotte or a bigger city and support your family. So, man, that's great. What about you, Justice? Why is Pageland so special?
For me, it was always kind of a place of peace growing up. I was born in Jersey, and I moved down around when I was 6 years old. And I always never really felt comfortable when I went back to Jersey for some reason. Like I was always felt at home in Pageland because I did like growing up how it was slow because it gave me time to just kind of find myself a little bit. It wasn't no rush to do anything. It wasn't too busy or too much going on. I could just really hone in on things that were important growing up, like sports, where I just wanted to be good at something. I could just lock in and do it. Like it wasn't too many distractions. It wasn't too many people that's going to try to pull me away from it. I didn't have no bad guy in the neighborhood trying to influence me to do something bad. Most of them always told me, hey, no, you go play ball. What you doing? Go shoot go over there, shoot like you've been doing. Don't come over here. Like It was always that wherever I lived in Page, because I kind of lived everywhere throughout Page and growing up. So I never really had no ill will to Page.
Oh, that's great, man. Like I said, great hometown, like Hampton. Another hometown, 2A town, just like Pageland. We're on 601. Pageland's on 601. So same similarities. You've been to 2A town in South Carolina. You've been to all of them, and the people are the same.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
People are the same. So great, man. So let's start our third quarter. We're going to be talking about. We'll be talking about the pigskin, the football. So tell me about football. Y'all already mentioned how great football is in Pageland. Justin, tell me about it playing high school football Friday nights. And if it's a 2A town, like I know the whole city shut down, or the whole town, at the games.
I mean, as we mentioned earlier, that's playing football at Central High School, something you just grew up wanting to do. Because y'all, first you had to beg to be able to go to the games in the first place, get somebody to get a ride to the games. And then when you got there, seeing those guys walking down the hill every day playing 2001, or every Friday playing 2001, doing the meat line before the game. Like I don't know if you know, but Central, we actually do a hitting drill. Used to do a hitting drill before every game, where we really tried to knock each other out before the games. Like it was kind of brainwashing. It's basically a player gets about 10 yards in front of the line, turns around, they hit. The next person turns around, they hit, and it goes down. And it felt like the whole town was the wall. And if you knock somebody down, you was a legend. Like if you knock somebody down before a game and knocked them out, you were a legend. So what you got there, it was like, I want to do the meat line. Whoever gets in front of me, I want to knock them out. That's my teammate. We gonna win the game after. But right now, let's get these cobwebs out. Like all that hype, like seeing that growing up, like hearing the fans say, "Oh, that they hitting that hard this year before the game." Like if you weren't hitting each other hard before the game, the whole town judged you. Man. So that's like in that mentality, like something like that growing up. So when you got there, you couldn't let everybody down. You couldn't be the ones that were saying, "Oh, they not hitting hard this year." Like that. It was always a dream come true to play for Central. That was always wanted to do it. I really wanted to play basketball always growing up. That was always my first sport I wanted to play. But football is one of those things you just wanted your respect and pay.
Oh yeah.
In the perfect world, if I did go to the NBA, I still wanted to make sure they knew Justice could play football.
Yeah.
And that's just the influence Page and a half of you growing up. I mean, you do that same drill I just talked about from the time I played 5th grade football. Well, 6th grade, I played Chesterfield my first year. So 6th grade, all the way until I left high school, and that was just all we knew. And that's every level you move up, you just adjust. Same system, because we ran the wishbone every time. Learn the new nuances of the wishbone, keep it pushing and keep the traditions going.
So y'all ran the wishbone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look that old, man, because 1979, that's when the wishbone probably started.
I know a lot of our town grew to hate the wishbone, but I always had full respect for it. I mean, we went to state, we were a good team every year. We probably could have done a lot better some of the times, but I always had respect for the wishbone. That was just one of those smash mouth, and that's what Page represented. It's about hitting people in the mouth. And
4 yards in a cloud of dust.
That's right.
Yep. And I would have never made it. I'd have never made it in college or anything if it wasn't for that Page and football influence, because I was always the most aggressive player wherever I played at. I was always most physical just because that's where I came from. That's all I knew.
Yeah, because the wishbone, it's either hit or be hit. So
Exactly.
two choices. And I'm not, I didn't like the wishbone, number one, because I'm playing receiver. And the wishbone meaning I'm not getting the ball, number one. Give me the ball, coach. And number two, playing wishbone when you playing defensive back, because we all went both ways. It's like, man, they're not going to run the ball. They're not going to pass the ball. All they're going to do is run all day.
Yep.
Like, this is a long game, a long, boring game. So, but you can tell a lot about
We
a
just hit
town.
that 1 or 2 play action.
Yeah, that's it. 1 or 2. You can tell a lot about a town from what their football team offense runs, what they run on offense or defense. You can tell a lot. If a town is hard nosed, blue collar like you guys, then it's wishbone. If they run spread, they might be a little finesse. Not saying finesse, but because you put people in positions to be successful if you're a coach. So if you got some hard players who want to hit, yeah, you're gonna do wishbone, or you might do the L, or you might do the I. But if you got some this kind of finesse, tall receivers, slots, you're gonna run the spread or the pistol. So you can really tell a lot when you see different towns how they football team is and how they come out, how the program is. So that's great, man. What about you, Jeff? Growing up playing, wearing those jerseys on Friday, get them on Thursday. I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? Look, everybody look at me. Number 8.
There you go. There you go, man. We wear them jerseys. Wear them jerseys at school, man. It was like if you played football around here, you were the man. You could about do what you want to do at school. If cats can lead their class. I mean, it was all kind of stuff, man, that we were able to do. But when the game time come, man, it's like we prep for the game and we ready because we were so cocky, man. Like, ain't nobody beating us. And we come down that hill, man, and we come down that hill clapping. It's like, it's on. And like you said, we ran the wishbone, but, that was our deal. I mean, we had a lot of hard-nosed players, man. And like Justin said, some people like it, a lot of people don't, but it always took us far.
Yeah.
And we might have could have went a little further if we would have threw the ball a little bit more, but people didn't like to see that wishbone coming because if you had the players, it's hard to stop. But then after a while, everybody just start, when you get deep in the playoffs, they just try to pack everybody in there on us in the box.
In the box.
If you can't move them out the way, then, you kind of stuck, or if you get behind, you're in trouble then,
Yeah,
exactly.
You're right, because South Carolina, November, that grass is brown, all brown, hard. You're still playing football. It's cold. And yeah, they pack in that box because it's gonna be tough to. And if you haven't been throwing the ball all along, it's gonna be tough to catch a ball when it's hard like that.
Yeah.
Especially some of the games on Friday night, they're not the best condition, and you got to go in there and play. And yeah, some of the toughest teams we played ran the wishbone, and like I said, I hated it, man. I was like, because we would do film session, had to watch the other team, and coach like they're running the wishbone. I'm like, man, they're not gonna run up my way. They're gonna run straight up the but then I have to be the one who catch them because if the linebacker slipping or get blocked by somebody, guard pull or the fullback. Now I got to go run them out in the middle of the field because I was usually playing the strong corner. But yeah, the wishbone, man. Hey, another good thing about Friday nights, man, that getting out of school early whenever you got a road game, that last period of class. If you were senior, you probably had early dismissal anyway. But when you were junior and they said, all right, you be at that last period, like, we got to leave at a certain time and pass that
right.
note. We out of here. Then I go looking at everybody else's class. Hey.
Yeah, you got.
So that was fun, man. So Justice, when you played football at Page, y'all ran the wishbone. Jeff, you ran the wishbone. What position? You played tight end, right? And DN?
Yeah.
I played the same position?
Well, I played tight end. I played DN early in high school. Then towards the end, I started playing D tackle. Jeff, which is basically our DN is more like an outside linebacker. D tackle is more like a DN.
We call it. They call it DN, but it's outside linebacker.
So what scheme did y'all run? A 6 or
6'2"
okay? Y'all had
6'2" was our base.
or 5'3".
okay, so y'all had a 6-2, and then y'all had 3 DBs in the back. They probably played the cover 3.
Yep.
Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So y'all got 6 on the line. So you was on the end. So you
Yeah.
had to make sure you kept containment pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. And Jeff, y'all did the same. Y'all ran the same scheme, the 6-2.
Yep. I mean, we used to want teams to throw on us because they didn't have time. We'd be like mad because they get a sack. Our D line was so strong, man. I mean, like, and we had a great secondary, but we couldn't really get interceptions because the boys sack them so fast. It was like that when Justin them played too. Him and Kagan come out the end, man. They were getting sacks left and right.
What was the rule? Meet at the quarterback. That's y'all. The ends there.
Oh, always.
Just meet at the
Gotta go out
quarterback.
there and hit somebody. It was like one of us gotta get the sack. I mean, you got one more than the other one. I know Kagan was coming, so if I didn't get it there, he was gonna get. If I didn't get there fast enough, he was gonna be there. So I had to get there.
So they didn't have. So what teams gave Payson trouble? Like what schemes gave y'all team trouble? Since y'all was running that 6 wishbone.
Well, for me, I just so happened to have one of the best quarterbacks in University of South Carolina history become the head coach of our rival school that we never lost to. And he brought in a whole college system of just running straight spread offense, and just everything was perfectly timed. And he changed that whole program around. I think the year before he got there, they won like one game. Then the year he got there, they lost one and went to state championship or something like that.
That was Tannehill,
Like,
right? Didn't he?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I remember that team. What was the name of that team?
With the Chesterfield Rams? Chesterfield Rams.
Yeah, it was the Rams. Yeah. So yeah, I remember Tannehill had that team. So he put that offense in. It was over with after that.
My freshman year, we barely beat them. They beat us for the first time, I think, since the 70s, my sophomore and junior year. Then the senior year, we finally beat them. We beat them again in overtime. And I got the game winning catch in overtime. We finally won again. But those years, I went to one of their practices just to see what was going on over there during one of my. I went to see another friend do a baseball practice. They just happened at a practice, and he had them doing things I didn't see till I got to college.
Man.
And once I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is why things are different now." Because those boys were getting a whole different level of coaching and everything behind them, and they played with it. And they always had a good core of players that was at my age too. Because we always struggled with Chesterfield when I was a kid. So hearing all the older players always say we never lose to them, I was like, I don't see how, because the ones we playing we struggle with them all the time. So the fact that they got a good coach too, it made it worse.
Oh yeah. So Jeff, how far did y'all get in the playoffs your senior and junior year?
I went like third round. We lost my senior year. We lost to Batesburg. They went on to win Batesburg Leesville. Yeah, and they went on to win the state. I think we lost to them maybe 12-7, 14-7, something like that.
So that was your junior year, your senior year?
That was my senior year.
Okay. And what about you, Justice? How far did y'all go?
Senior year, we made it to the state championship and lost 7-6.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Coach, too?
No, our holder dropped the ball. Well, dropped the ball on the tee. We tried to put it on the tee for the kick and missed the tee, and the balls went all over the place. And that was the one time he did it ever since he ever held the tee since we was in high school. So I was like,
hey man,
I couldn't really be mad. That was the one time he ever messed up, really, but it was just happened.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's a team game. So.
Oh yeah.
When that's a team losing,
the score would probably still be 7-7 right now if that didn't happen.
Yeah. Who'd y'all play?
We played Dillon.
Oh, Dillon, man.
Yeah.
You know more. South Carolina.
We played a great game. It was just they had one play where we had a freshman at the time starting that corner. Well, came in that corner because our starting running back, my cousin, was hurt. He tore his ACL, the one I told you about.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL, so the freshman had to be in, and he was so happy to be guarding their best player, who ended up going to South Carolina State. And 3 steps into his back pedal, he fell. Receiver ran right by him. That was their only point of the game.
So the
About
freshman
99-yard touchdown, wasn't it?
About 70, something like that, yeah. And that was really only forward movement, but they made the whole game. Our defense played great. It was just that one play. And then another play where we missed the tee.
man, it happens, man. So playing sports, when did you realize that, hey, I might can go to college playing football? When was that, Jeff, for you?
To be honest, man, we wasn't even thinking about college. We just went out there to play. We just played to win. Most of our guys, we weren't even thinking about college, man. And after our season, one of our coaches was like, hey, man, I probably could get y'all to HBCU. And he sent some old VHS tapes out. And, we got some visits at like Fayetteville State, Winston-Salem State, Livingstone. And that's pretty much how we got in.
I never knew that. So y'all got
And
in.
we had a couple other guys that went to UT Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's how I got in at Livingstone, and I sent some highlight. I sent a highlight tape in.
Hey, Reg.
Yo,
Hey, Reg.
yeah.
Hey, is it freezing up on you?
Not on me. You freezing?
Yeah, I keep freezing.
Mine was a little earlier, but I'm good.
You're not freezing. Yeah, I got in like that. I made a highlight tape of all my games, sent it to Livingstone, and Coach Richardson called me. Hey,
Yeah,
son,
Rich.
how's everything going? For what? Oh, football. Because Leon and Rashawn was already up there.
Yeah.
So I just sent it in, and the rest is pretty much history. So,
Yep.
What about you, Justice? When did you realize that I can go to school playing this sport?
I mean, I just honestly had that confidence as I was probably in elementary school. I knew I always had dreams of playing a pro sport. One day I knew either one in NBA, but I always kind of saw NFL was I know I could make it in football somehow. But from the beginning, I always knew in order to make it to NBA or NFL, I had to go to college. So that really wasn't ever, I would say, really a goal. It was just something I just knew I had to do to make it there.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be part of the process. I knew I was going to do whatever I had to do to get that part done.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really realize how serious it was till I got older.
Yeah.
And then when I was in high school, when I saw a lot of my teammates that I always thought could play D1 easily weren't getting those same looks. And I was just like, okay, now I get why people take college very seriously. Because it's not that easy. It's not just as easy as going out there all the time and just working hard and doing what you got to do. Sometimes it's politics, size, speed. Like I said before, it's always just something minor that could pop up that can block you. But for me, I always just had that confidence instilled in me.
Yeah, that you can do it. Yeah, and so after you got to school and Jeff Livingstone, tell me about some of those teams with you and Dunlap, especially playing with somebody from the hometown. How was that? And y'all roomed together pretty much. How was that?
Well, that was good for us, man, because we had a couple guys that come up there with us and they come back home. So, about both of us going there together and grew up pretty much like brothers. Even before we got to deal with other people, we were always roommates, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So we came in with Livingstone. I think they were 0-10 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we came in with Coach Richardson and Coach Abrams. So we progressed each year, and then I was just an average player, playing my role, but Dunlap went up there and took over on defense.
Yeah, Dunlap. Yeah. Now
So,
the thing about you, Jeff, is that so when I first got up there, you were playing linebacker. I was playing free safety.
mm-hmm.
And then we were at a 4-3. No, we had 4-3-4. 4-3-4. Yeah. So you was playing linebacker. Then my same year, my freshman year, I moved to offense. I'm not sure when you moved to offense. Was it your?
I moved to offense after Bacardi got there. The coach said, "Can you catch?"
Hey,
I didn't know you played offense.
Yeah, Bacardi got that, man. This dude was, Reg, you remember Bacardi? This dude, man, like, what is this dude doing in Livingstone? Justice, this dude like 6'2", about 220, running the 4.5. I mean, strong. I was just outmatched. So, in order to keep, he's like, can you play offense? Can you catch? I was like, yeah, I play wherever you want me to play to keep my money. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
And that's how it works in college, man. It's like they move you around. If you can't move around, then next thing you know, your money gone.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, I got there as a free safety, and I was like, okay, not working. I'm not playing. Let me go to receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the good thing about being from a 2A town. When you playing Iron Man football, kickoff, punt return,
Yep.
return. Only thing I didn't play was, what was that? Oh, field goal. I got a break when we was kicking field goals because I didn't do that Wayne thing. Like, how you got to do that thing right there. I got a break. So yeah, you got to be able to play Iron Man football. That's why South Carolina, I'm a little biased to my state, and I'm going to say it. If you want some good athletes, go to South Carolina because they know how to play more than one position.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to work. If it doesn't work one way, they're going to be able to do something else. And that's just how we are. What about you, Justice? When you got the South USC, how was it for you, the adjustment?
It was a big adjustment. It's one of the times we kind of learned that football just ain't for fun no more. It's not, I work out because I want to, and I just want to put in extra work today and work hard. It's that hard work you put in every day at home was kind of the norm. That's what you expected to do every day, and then some. So it was definitely an adjustment. Luckily, I had some players that I kind of knew growing up that went there with me. Alshon Jeffrey, that's with the Eagles now.
Oh yeah,
Me and him played AAU together since 8th grade. So when we got to school together, we was roommates, and that made the transition a little easier. And then I wasn't too far from home. I was about an hour, 15 minutes. So my mom, Mark always can go home. Cliff Matthews from Sherrall, he was on the team. So if I really need somebody to go to talk to, Cliff was always there for me. After camp is probably when I say I finally adjusted.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, you sit on this play right here.
Shaw wipes his hands, calls for the football. Sprint out right side, wants to throw it, looking backside. Wheel route for Justice Cunningham, leaping at the 10. Justice at the 5, diving forward, touchdown Carolina. Touchdown.
You tested on that against LSU. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you did your thing, man. You really did it. So, congrats, man. Big ups to you. And
Thank
Jeff,
you.
you were there. You know, of course, everybody know we won the championship. So, you and Dunlap adjusted, which is good. And the thing I knew about people from Page, number one, they're hard workers, and number two, they're very cerebral. Meaning they think more, they think first, and then they play. In football, you got to hit all the time, but they think about the game. They're always studying. They're always figuring out, okay, tendencies. What's this guy gonna do right here? And I wasn't taught like that. I was taught, hey, see that ball over there? Get that ball. They was taught the ball gonna be over there, but that ball's gonna get there because this person's gonna throw that ball. That's how they were taught. So coaching at Pageland and how you Dunlap played, and even Tony talking to him, how y'all learned the game was a whole lot different than how I learned the game in Hampton. Just a whole lot different. So big up to your coaches, man.
And I definitely say like I said, being from Page, I just definitely resorted to what I knew. Because I know my first practice with pads on, we had a special teams drill we had to do, which was basically like the meat line we did before every game. Mm-hmm. And everybody on our team hated that drill because you had to hit.
Yeah.
And my first time up, I was nervous, but I just fell back to what I do. And I was like, no matter what, I'm going to hit this guy. And I ended up knocking the dude, like really embarrassing the guy. And that from then on, the team knew me, was like, okay, Justice will hit you.
That's right.
He's not the fastest, but he's going to hit you and he's going to do the job. But anytime anything failed, I always relayed back to what I learned in Page.
Yeah,
the first time I did a board drill, I threw a flipper reel. First time I did a board drill because of the D-line, and I threw the hardest elbow I had, and whatever happened. I won the match somehow, and falling back on that always helped me out.
No, that's great. What about you, Jeff? Is that what you learned from Pages 2? Just hard work, that grit, that never
Oh
give
yeah,
up?
man. I just remember even at practice when we went over first O, after your reps was up at tight end, I go jump over there on scout D. Cause you wanted now the starters didn't like that because they like, man, what you doing, man? And
Go to
Garrett
play.
and them boys.
Yeah.
I used to love the practice, man. So
Exactly.
when I went on offense, I get on defense, and when defense, you go to saying you like to hit, man.
Exactly.
You just like to hit. Back then, everybody probably had 100 concussions because if you had no marks on your helmet back then, you weren't hitting.
Yeah,
And, now you don't want you taking the helmet out the game, but that was the way we were raised at Central, man, to play football.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you a little known secret. Hampton, South Carolina, 2A high school, way Hampton Red Devils. Yeah, they tell me about marks on your helmet. You're not hit to get marks on your helmet. So after practice, I take my helmet and hit it up against the field house. Boom, make a mark. And I find another mark. I do the white part first, hit it up against there. Then I go to the sidewalk, hit it up there a little bit. I'm not hitting nobody, man. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. But man, I am not doing it because I don't want this to happen to me.
Might also learn wrong way Roy Regals and Cal in the 20s in the Rose Bowl is Connor Shaw down the middle, and a big time hit is delivered by Andre Howe, and a little too much. He's going to be called for targeting as he took a huge shot at Justice Cunningham. The completion and 15 yards going to be tacked onto it.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have dropped it. I probably would have laid it out a little bit. Your helmet was off and you got up. Tell me about that catch when Connor Shaw threw that ball.
I mean, I wasn't supposed to get the ball. To be honest, when we ran the route, as soon as I saw the defense they were in, I was like, okay, I'm not getting it. And I just so happened to turn back and look, and I saw him looking at me, locking eyes with me, and I was like, this is not the playoffs. And when he threw it, I saw the corner. When I ran the route, I saw the corner in front of me, so I was just like, oh yeah, I'm not getting it. When I saw him cock it back and throw it, I was like, all right, well, if you're gonna get hit, you might as well just hold on to it. They're gonna hit you either way.
Right. And that's not the only time a helmet came off at South Carolina. Tell me about the other time that helmet came off at Michigan, because you was on that team then, right?
Oh, that's Big Clowney, yeah.
When Clowney did that.
Oh yeah, it was a tough game, but playing against Michigan in the bowl game. I mean, offense, we weren't playing the best. To be honest, I was kind of on the sideline trying to get myself and my teammates a little motivated, like just let's get back in the game. The next thing we know, we just heard a loud thump. And the crowd, and the helmet flew in the air, and the crowd was going crazy. By the time you saw what was going on, you just saw Cloudy standing up with the ball in his head. We back in it.
Oh, yeah. I could only imagine how that was on the sideline because I was watching it at the house, and I was like, man, I wanted to hit somebody, but being on the sideline, I bet that was a whole nother level because, he hit that dude, picked the ball up with one hand. Because before that, it was like a 3rd and something play where they gave the ball to Michigan.
It was. They said we came up short even though the ball was clearly past the first down post. Right, yeah. And I guess that ball don't lie. Funny story about that is Clowney couldn't even get into a bar that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when the team was at a bar like celebrating, and Clowney and one of our other teammates came up, and they wouldn't let him in the bar. And once we was walking away, we was like, y'all not letting Clowney in? They're like, who that? And I was like, the dude on TV right now. They kept showing the highlight 100 times. They was like, no, come on back. They was like, no, we gone, forget that.
Oh, man, that's funny, man. So, Justice, when you got drafted, what separated you from getting drafted? How did that feel when you got drafted?
That was a dream come true. I mean, that's probably one of the roughest days of my life, to be honest. Because I watched the draft all the way through, one through the last pick.
And who was the last pick?
Me.
What do they call that person?
Mr. Irrelevant.
The 48th pick in the 7th round, the 254th and final pick for the NFL draft. This year's Mr. Irrelevant, is the Indianapolis Colt selected Justice Hamilton. Cunningham, Justice Cunningham, tight end, South Carolina. And Justice, we'll be in touch with you, and we're going to have the weekend.
So congrats, man. Everybody don't get drafted. So if you got the last pick, you got drafted. I mean, that's beautiful, man. That's
The
what's
funny
all.
thing, he did it on purpose. He did it on purpose.
Who the older guy?
Yeah, he mentioned he said my name wrong on purpose.
Man.
Cause he's the guy that runs the Mr. Relevant Week. Can't remember his name right now. Him and his daughter runs it, but he's a big jokester. Once you meet him, he'll tell you, he'll be like, yeah, I do stuff like that all the time. It was nothing personal. I didn't mess up your moment. Like he was a funny and nice guy, but he did that on purpose. It's always that's why I hear the video, it makes me laugh now.
Oh yeah.
Because my heart dropped in the moment. I was like, the coach just told me they're going to draft me. Who is Justice Hamilton?
That's funny, man. Well, that ends our third quarter, man. Great quarter, and we're going to talk about Operation Hope and what you're doing for the community next. So, let's start our fourth quarter. So, Jeff, man, you in Paisley, you're doing great things. You have an organization called Operation Hope, where you're helping kids out, you're helping them be successful, you're helping grow and groom leaders, kind of like what you did with Justice and a whole lot of people. Tell me about Operation Hope.
Well, it was an organization, man. Me and my brother Calvin got going. Me and some of my buddies, man, we always used to talk about what we could do to try to help Paisley. And, since I was here, I've always been working with kids. Mm-hmm. But since I was here, I was like, hey, let's go ahead and, quit talking about it and make something happen. So we got it going, man. 2016, started off just doing some speed and agility stuff, camps, and then we incorporated in some summer camps in there, and then football camps, and a back to school 5K. We'll give away, book bags and school supplies.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, we started the flag football league. So I don't think Paisley never had anything like that, but just something else to get these kids something to do around here.
Man, that's great, man. Anytime you give back, it's great. And I got one of my friends' shirt on. It's called FACTS, Richmond Glover. FACTS stands for all children thriving for success. So this is what he's going to be doing in Barnville, South Carolina, and Hampton to kind of help impact the kids in our area too, because they need it. They need someone to look up to. They need some guidance. They need some leadership. And what's going to happen is what he's doing is going to help them out. So great job. Tell me about these kids though, Jeff. How when they come to you first, can you see the progression and the transition from when you first get them to after they leave your program?
Oh yeah, man. Especially with sports. We've been working with a lot of these guys for some years, man, and you can just see the difference as they progress and as they grow each year. Mm-hmm. It's getting better and better, man, and it's like they're getting some good training, from a lot of skilled guys that know what they're doing. So
yeah, that's right.
That helped them as far as sports, but like in our summer camp and stuff, man, we take them to the library. They got to drop everything in read time, and we're just pretty much using sports as the platform to reach them, because by then you got their attention. So while they're with you, that's your time to try to get some advice or some things to try to steer them in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, sports, it's a big secret. I'm gonna tell you, we use sports as that bait, and we'll get
there you go.
You're gonna learn a whole lot more other than sports, because sports has got me in a lot of situations that I probably would have never been in if I couldn't play sports. But number one, I had to be coachable. Number one, I had to have a work ethic and being disciplined. And after that, sports has opened up a lot of doors for me. And even if sports is not your thing, you can make something your thing to be successful. Maybe it's engineering, maybe it's reading, maybe it's being a carpenter or HVAC. You just have to have the discipline to do it, and it's going to work out for you.
Mhm.
What about you, Justice? You're going to be working at Mallet Creek High School, right?
Plan on it, yeah.
Yeah. And what can you impart in these kids and these student athletes to kind of help them become successful?
Just let them know there's always another level to take it to, far as when you put in extra work. Always just and being serious about your craft and just being good people overall, being good men on the field, doing the right things for the right reasons, not just because somebody telling you to, but just because that's the right thing to do. I feel like a lot of times, sometimes coaches can get too caught up in just wanting to win games and X's and O's. Sometimes they miss the message, at least raising the players and teaching them how to be better men and better people.
I agree. That's key, because if you out there winning games and you got a bunch of boneheads and people who are doing the wrong thing, terrorizing the community, man, you doing them a disjustice. You're doing your community a disjustice. If you don't raise these boys to be men by the time they get out of your program, then you're wasting their time. I need to have people I can cheer for on the field and off the field.
And it's also better to have people that when they have somebody they can relate to, that kind of understands where they come from, what kind of stands. Even though my life was never as hard as most of their lives. I've had friends and families and cousins and family members that have been through stuff like that, and I can understand that perspective. I can understand why you might just have an attitude today, because you might not have ate last night. I can get that. Now, I can't always do everything about making sure you got something to eat, but I can teach you how to better handle that attitude when you're going through stuff like that, because it only takes one bad day or one bad moment to set you back.
That's right.
And I feel like a lot of great players get caught up in that when they had that one bad moment and their careers down the drain over. And I don't think enough players have those guys to kind of coach them through that. Like, I can coach you through the struggle and help you try to be successful at the same time.
That's right.
That's good. Care to elaborate on that, Jeff?
Yeah, like he was saying, man. When you can relate, that's the thing about especially coaching in your hometown. You know a lot of these kids. You know their parents. You know their situations. You know where they come from. You know, I tell a lot of kids, I'm from the same place you from, and they can't believe it. Some of them like, what? You know, and you know, we all done a lot of things that we're not proud of and been involved with a lot of stuff, but you could you know, help teach them that, hey, it only, you know, because we done lost a lot of people behind this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, through death or through prison or whatever. And sometimes just by having somebody to talk to for a little bit, or somebody you could explain your situation to, that might help you get through.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys can't explain their situation to somebody that don't know anything about them, and they don't want to.
Yeah.
So they just react. And, you know, sometimes you react, it could get you into a situation you can't get out of.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of times as athletes and as black males, we don't get 3 strikes. You get 1 pitch, and you better swing at it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And if you're going to have a bad day, that's the day you probably need to stay home, because you don't get another chance. Unfortunately, it's not. We don't have it in our cars the right way. We want you to stay in bounds on the field, but you got to stay in bounds in life also, because we know as athletes, we know what out of bounds looks like on the field. We know what it looks like on the court. But a lot of times when we step off that court, a lot of us don't know what out of bounds looks like. And we'll go too far, and then now you got an athlete, you got all that talent, and that person could have changed their trajectory of their whole family by getting everybody out of poverty. So just like
being that one person, that one shining light that did something where the next kid behind them can see, oh, I can do that. He might not be an NFL player, but he went to college.
That's right.
I think I could do that because he did that. I know him.
Right.
I'm getting to him. Yeah.
That's right. I always tell tell kids and tell people I talk to, somebody is waiting on you to be great. There's somebody out here waiting on Jeff Blakeney to be great, Justice Cunningham to be great, Reginald Johnson to be great. It's my job to do everything I got to do because I keep a LDL list, and the LDL list is a letdown list. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, who am I going to let down? And I put all the people who I can potentially let down. Some I know, but it's a lot of unknowns who I don't know. But if you have accountability to yourself, number one, to people, to your coaches, once you look at that list, you're like, I'm not going to let anybody down. I'm going to do everything I can to be successful, especially my coaches, my teammates. And that's what we got to ingrain into these kids. That it's not about you all the time.
Mm-hmm. And the thing, Reggie, too, like you said, we use Operation Hope at football camps. We got all these guys coming back, or we got them in the summer. That's how, like you said, we got them there now. So, sometimes we're a lot of them last hope, man. And I don't see it happen too many times around here to where people, they fall off the cliff when they, because they feel like they didn't have any more hope. Or quit school or whatever, because they think, hey, that's the only way, that's their only option.
Yeah.
So, you don't know the impact you're having through coaching or Operation Hope or whatever, because you might be that last leg that can help them get through.
Yeah, you're right. And number one, man, I applaud you, Justice, everything you're doing, Jeff, Operation Hope, because coaches, this is what I would tell you. You are with these kids more than school teachers are. You with them 2 hours a day, that's 10 hours a week. If you got a game, that's more time. You're always with them. You don't have to always tell them what to do, but you got to live a life where they can see it and be accountable to them. So they can see that, okay, I see a man, he's dressed up. I see a guy in a suit. Okay, this is how you're supposed to act. His pants ain't hanging off his behind. Oh, that's what you're supposed to do. He's doing things for his wife. He's with his 2 kids. All this stuff I see. You a model for some people, just like I asked y'all earlier, who did you model your game after? Who are they gonna model their life after? And Operation Hope, it helps out because people always say, man, why are you giving these kids a second chance? And I always say, who gave them the first chance? So the work that you're doing is big, because if you were in Charlotte, because it's free, right? The program. How much y'all charge?
Operation Hope.
Yeah. Operation Hope.
Most of the things we do is free besides the summer camp, but
it's little or no cost,
little or no cost about everything we do,
Yeah. And I would tell you this, Payson in South Carolina, sister, you'll know it. If you were in Charlotte or North Carolina, across that border, for what they're doing and for what y'all kids are getting, you'd be like, that's too much. You get value. Just because it's free, that don't mean it don't cost you. It's costing someone. My brother, he's away from his family. He's doing different things. He could be taking his kids to sporting events. He could be going on dates with his wife. He could be riding that horse, Justice. Why do he riding that horse up and down the road? You know what I'm saying? He can be doing all that stuff, but he's there. Him and his brother are imparting things to the youth, and that's big, man. Because if you're in Charlotte, man, what y'all are doing, it's gonna be at least $60 an hour. We might give you a break. You might get $35, $40 an hour, but you got to come every day. Then
a lot of the training and stuff we're doing, man, it would really cost you a lot of money, and that's the good thing. I don't know if you're gonna get into this part where we got a lot of good support, man. And we able to do this stuff for them and buy stuff and stuff like that because we got a pretty good solid support group that believe in what we're doing.
Nah, we all believe in what you're doing, man. Your teammates from college, we all believe in it because you are the model for what we can do in our own hometowns, what you're doing. So we watch you, man. So keep it up. And like I said, the support. As you mentioned support, how can people support? Because I always believe in the 4 T's. And the 4 T's are your time, your talent. If you got time, help out. If you got talent, hey, show these kids how to run around. Show these kids how to block. Your treasure, hey, if you got money, can we get some of it? And talking. The other T is talking. That means making people aware of what's going on. You see, Operation Hope, they're doing some great work. You know, don't talk about them in a bad way. Talk about them in a good way to everybody else, so they'll say, all right, we get some support. Because I look at Operation Hope like this, and I want you to think about it like this, Jeff. There's a story about a young boy, and he was every day after the storm, he was with his grandfather, and after the storm, it'll wash starfish up on the ocean, on the ocean banks. So what he would do is all the sand, it'd be starfish. So he'd just pick the starfish up, throw them back in the ocean, pick them up, throw them back in the ocean, bend down, pick them up, throw them back in the ocean. And his granddad said, hey, why are you doing that? That's not gonna make a difference. And the young boy picked another one and said, it made a difference for that one. So everything you're doing is making a difference for one kid and another kid.
There
and
you
when
go.
start looking, they're gonna be like, yeah, I'll pick a starfish up, I'll throw it, because that's what his granddad started doing. Well, let me pick one up. And another guy said, oh, well, they picking them up, let me pick one up. And what you're doing, everybody gonna start picking up starfish and picking up these kids and taking them home and bringing them to practice and volunteering to do different things, helping them read, because it's contagious. Everybody wants to be around a winner, man. And you've been a winner from day one.
Appreciate it, Red.
I give you props for that, Jeff, because I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really sure how to help. Like, I didn't know what to do, but seeing y'all do what y'all been doing and put that much effort into it is contagious. I think that's why I tell you all the time, if you need me, I'm there. Just let me know, I'm gonna come. But I respect that, I really do.
Yeah, man.
And Reg, like you said, man, like how people can help is like, even when we do the football camps and stuff, you know, man, I got guys as I'm playing college ball, you know, and Justice played in the league too, you know. Every year we do the camp, man. We couldn't do it this year because of the COVID, but them boys will come right back and help, man. Like, you know, without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, we got 7 or 8 guys that played on the next level that's coming back teaching these kids some basic fundamentals and giving them some good words of wisdom. And, you know, these kids can see that, man. It like you said, it gravitates and it leads into our middle school. And, you know, hoping it, you know, leads more into the high school.
Yeah. Because what y'all doing with that middle school, was that New Heights Middle?
You know the name.
I don't want to put more. Man, y'all got some dogs on that field, man. You know.
Hey, you know, and it started from recreation, man. You know, like between all these different groups, I think we got about 3 state championships. Beating Powerhouse Abbeville.
Mm-hmm.
Our 12U beat Abbeville a couple years ago. We rolled into the 7 and 8 graders, but past 4 or 5 years, man, we only got maybe like, I think 1 loss and a couple state championships. So yeah, we got some dogs, man. And you know, some of them are moving on up to high school, and I know, you know, we talked about this before that. I'm gonna have an opportunity up there with them to help the linebackers on the varsity.
So you move, okay.
Which is good. Yeah. I'll be moving up, but like we talked before, we still not gonna be neglecting the younger kids because it starts there. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna still do our football camps and stuff to reach them, and you know, just try to build back that central program, man, where we taking names and busting heads.
Yeah, we 2A for 1 more year, then we moving up. So hey, because we're gonna merge schools. So y'all
might be lucky then.
Yeah, but Jeff, I see you as a linebacker coach, man, but I see you as a linebacker coach / player development. If they ever had that in high school, player development, man, you that guy, man, because player development is kind of like that guidance counselor on the football field. Hey, boy, why you late for school? Let me help you out. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, that was one of the things we talked about. I didn't mention that, but you know, coaching and helping these players play, you know, it's not really a position, but when I talked to the head coach, that's one of the things we talked about.
Yeah, man. Like I said, that's gonna. If I had player development when I was in high school, man, I might have stayed in high school because it'd have been so cool. But no, I would have been doing some stuff like, okay, not after the game, hanging out, like, or working out or doing different things, because people just want you to show interest in them other than sports. They want you to really genuinely see who they are. Talk to them. Just like the other day, I called you and you were taking a young man home from practice. And I said, man, I'll call you back. Call me after that. You know how important that time is when you got a young man in the car, because they don't get to see a lot of successful black men, number one. And you can impart life in them. Just talk to them, because some kids don't talk to a man anytime. Because my high school, we probably had 3 black men, if that. My first black man was in middle school, 8th grade. But we don't have a lot of them. So the impact, like I said before, the impact that you're doing and making is tremendous. So keep that.
Appreciate it.
So this has been a great interview, man. I want to thank Jeff, Operation Hope. People know how they can help, get involved. They're always doing different things. They're 501c3, so you'll get a tax write-off at the end of the year. When you see different things, give, share it, and tell everybody else you did it, and help out in the community, because these kids need it. And Justice, what you're going to be doing with Mallet Creek, man, I know it's going to work out for you, because number one, you already been successful. You're still successful. And like I said, they need to see someone who's already made it, who they can talk to. And just like I gave Jeff a job and he's player development, same thing for you, man. You're going to be able to reach people that other people won't be able to reach just because of who you are and what you've been through and where you're at right now. So great job, guys. Any closing remarks, Jeff or Justin?
Well, man, just appreciate you giving us this opportunity, man. Just to share our stories a little bit. You know, you're doing a good job with this podcast, man. And, you know, you're going to really reach a lot of people, man. You know, you're giving everybody something that, you know, I mean, I never did anything like this. So I don't know about Justice, but, you know, we really appreciate that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, because my thing is this. I always tell people don't need your roses and flowers when they're dead. And as it relates to athletes, I don't need you to cheer for me when the game over with. You need to cheer for me when we at that opposing stadium and we lose by a touchdown and I don't see anybody in the stands from my hometown and everybody is on us and the referees get ready to start cheating. That's when I need somebody in the stand. You don't need the light in the end of the tunnel. You need the light in the middle of the tunnel.
There you go.
In it. So you're in the middle of the tunnel, so that's what I'm giving you your light. So what about you, Justice?
I'll give a shout out to my guy. He go by Neighborhood Hero. He told me I wear a shirt for him.
Big ups. That's what I'm talking about.
Stunting like my partners.
That's right, man.
It's all about doing what you can to help out your community in any way possible. I love that message he preaches, and I'm always going to support him through that. So first off, all shout out to that. Thank you for having us. I like talks like this when I get to talk to men and just have good, solid conversations about how to be better and how to do better for the community. So I really do appreciate your time today.
Great, man. Thanks.
And Reg, one other thing, man, is like you said, there's a lot of people around here, not just me, man, that's doing some positive things.
Right.
And working with these kids, man, and really trying to show them the way. So, you know, I want to shout them out, man, and tell them to just keep doing what they're doing. And, you know, I know we you know, people excited about what's to come as far as the athletic program and the academic program around here. And I just really feel like we're about to turn that corner, man, and get everything back. So
yeah,
if you're doing something man, positive to help this younger generation, keep it up, man. It doesn't go unnoticed.